Hi, my name is MegAnn Kaiser. I'm from Erie County. My club is the Four Leaf Luckies, and this is my 7th year in 4-H. My title today on my topic is The Importance of Beginnings. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This is the opening line from the famous book, A Tale of Two Cities. Another opening line is, "Call me Ishmael." You know which book that's from? Here's a hint. No? It's from Moby Dick, a very famous literary work. Here's a tougher one. It was a dark and stormy night. While most people can recognize this opening line, few people actually know that the book that it is from is called Paul Clifford. It's not a well-known book, but the opening line is famous. Now, how many of you out there have read a book, looked at the first page, and decided that you were never going to finish it? I'm guilty of it. It's like the opening of a book is a first impression. They say first impressions are lasting. Now, I don't know who they are, but whoever they are, they're right. The most important part of any story, poem, essay, or even a public presentation is the beginning. That's why a beginning has to be extra special. It has to give people a reason to listen to you speak or read what you've written. There are many ways to begin. You could start with a statement. Could you begin with a question? You bet. You might even choose to use a rhyme. I've written a short poem about beginnings that I would like to share with you, but first I'll tell you how this poem came to be. It all started in my second period English class. Our homework for that night was to write an original poem because we were studying poetry. So later, when I went to my study hall, a group of my friends and I got together and tried to write our poem. Turns out, when you stick a bunch of 14-year-olds in a room and tell them to write a poem, you get some interesting results. After a couple dirty looks from our study hall monitor, we realized maybe we'd better split up for a little while and each work on something different. I was about to start my math homework when I noticed the book my friend was reading. It was a collection of modernized or newfangled fairy tales. In these fairy tales, Hansel and Gretel find their way home using a GPS system, and witches, they don't ride flying broomsticks anymore. Now they're riding turbocharged pogo sticks. I was about to ask my friend if I could borrow the book when she was finished with it. When flipping through it, I noticed how every single story began the same way, once upon a time. It struck me as odd that if you were going to modernize an entire collection of fairy tales, why wouldn't you do something to make the beginning more interesting? Later that day, when I was sitting in the local coffee shop with my mom, these thoughts came back to me and became the premise for the poem you are about to hear. Once upon a time, far, far away. Why do fairy tales start this way? There are many better ways for a book to start, like the evil prince's name was Bart. Or maybe a book could start like this. The magical cat began to hiss. So many beginnings are all the same, and they make the stories that follow rather lame. Give your opening pizzazz and spice. Give the reader chills like ice. Make them jump, or laugh, or cry. And if you do, then by and by, your opening could become a story. You could make it sad, or you could make it gory. Make it silly, make it funny. Write about the Easter Bunny. Make it exciting, or maybe scary. Write about a guy named Larry. Good beginnings make good books, which everyone knows should not be judged on looks. And it all starts with a really good hook. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with a challenge. I challenge you, every one of you, to go out and write your own original beginning and see where it takes you. Who knows, you might even get rich and famous. And if you do, don't forget about me. Thank you.